From the Target 12 investigators, Providence has struck a deal with the state's largest hospital system, Lifespan, to pay the city $1.5 million in lieu of taxes over the next 2 years. The tentative agreement has been nearly a year in the making.
Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie spoke with Mayor Brett Smiley about the deal, which still needs to be vetted by the Providence City Council.
She joins us now live in studio with more details about the 3-year agreement. Alex?
Providence City Council President Rachel Miller, who has been critical of the negotiation, says the $1.5 million payment is just the start. But Mayor Brett Smiley says after getting to know Lifespan's finances and challenges in the last year, it made sense to agree to a smaller, short-term agreement for now. A payment in lieu of taxes or pilot agreement between Lifespan and Providence has been a long time coming.
For the first time in the city's history, an actual written, signed, and hopefully soon to be ratified pilot agreement with our largest hospital group. That has never happened before.
Lifespan hasn't made any voluntary payment since 2021. Negotiations for a written agreement lasted about a year.
The more we got into it, the more we kept hitting sort of a brick wall, if you will, in terms of what I thought was a fair contribution to the city.
The Lifespan payment falls short of what's being paid by some of the city's other large nonprofit groups that are exempt from property taxes. Last year, the city's 4 private colleges agreed to pay Providence more than $220 million over 20 years. Smiley and City Council leadership have been critical of Lifespan for being the last major nonprofit in Providence not to have a written agreement with the city.
Lifespan was very clear that they had other financial challenges that they needed to address first.
If approved, Lifespan would pay the city $1.5 million over a 2-year period, and the 3rd year of Lifespan's agreement will be dedicated to negotiations for a future pilot agreement. Smiley says he's hopeful that deal would be a longer-term one.
It is a huge distraction, and it is very difficult to plan with these short-term agreements. I don't think we want to be doing this every 2 years.
Lifespan's president and CEO says the hospital group makes substantial contributions to the city. The new deal requires the hospital group to quantify and keep track of those contributions throughout the year. I'll explain more about that coming up, new at 5. Live in studio with the Target 12 investigators, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.
Lifespan has reached a tentative deal with Providence to make $1.5 million in voluntary payments over the next 2 years.
It's the first time the state's largest hospital group would ever have a written agreement on the books with Providence. Target 12 investigator Alexandra Leslie joins us live in studio to explain more about the proposed agreement and how the city would hold Lifespan accountable.
Well, Mayor Brett Smiley says the city is also asking the hospital group to make $50 million in contributions to the city each year and to document what those are. Smiley says that's also to help future negotiations, which could start as soon as 2027. Mayor Brett Smiley and City Council leadership have been critical of Lifespan for being the last major nonprofit in Providence not to have a written agreement with the city. But after a year of negotiations, a tentative deal in writing has been struck.
That's a big accomplishment. That's something that the institution, that the hospital, pushed back against hard. And I think were we not to have been so insistent that every large nonprofit institution in the city of Providence needs to have a written pilot agreement, I'm not sure we would have gotten one today.
The deal calls for Lifespan to make $1.5 million in payments in lieu of taxes to Providence over the next 2 years. Additionally, the city wants Lifespan to have a goal of making $50 million worth of contributions to the community and reporting if they hit that target or not.
When someone goes into the emergency room underinsured or uninsured, they cover the difference. And they've always said that. I know they do that, and I think it will be helpful for future negotiations to actually have an accurate reporting of how much that is.
In exchange, the city would support a zoning change to extend the hospital district and also to eventually maintain a portion of road Lifespan is constructing near Rhode Island Hospital.
The financials aren't as robust as I'd hoped they would be. The fact that we have a written agreement with Lifespan for the first time in the city's history is a big deal, and I'm proud of that.
Now, the City Council still needs to vet the agreement. It's being introduced to councilors at their meeting coming up this Thursday night. Live in studio with the Target 12 investigators, I'm Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.